Hello, this is Zeeg777, and welcome back to Ars Nouveau. We've got a very large blank canvas beneath us here, and I want to fix that. I want to get to work on actually building something. So let's get started. Hit F5 just enough times. First off, I do want to go over one of the things that I plan on doing here, and that is having a bridge. So right now we have north of us a nice little mangrove forest here, swamp. That's what it is. And we have a patch of desert here. Now, my plan is to build a large tower here, which will kind of serve as a teleport hub. And then from here, I want to have a couple roads going out to some surrounding areas. There's some points of interest on the map that may be useful to some people. I think I saw a temple of some sort around here. There's a nether portal there. There's an outpost here, and then of course my base itself. So I plan on building a large road down to my base, and then have the actual base proper be most of this island. In fact, the area that we're building right now, there's going to be nothing there. I just want it to be plain sand. So we'll get to that eventually, but we need to actually start doing some building. And let's head home for that. We did get our actual sand production running last time, so we now have a actual building block that we can work with, and that includes then sandstone, and with a handy-dandy backpack of stonecutter, we can turn that into all the different types that we need. So between episodes, I went on a grand exploration, and that was to get me this block right here, snow. I don't actually plan on building with snow, of course, because this is a desert, so that doesn't really make sense. But what we do need is a glyph of conjure water, which needs water essence, and a water bucket. So water essence, you are a snow block, bucket of water, and some kelp, which we should have plenty of that throughout here. Really, I only have 2 kelp? Cool, that works. And what was the other one I said? A bucket of water. Where did my bucket go? Backpack, yes. Bucket, let's go fill you up with water. Hello, Alays, I'll deal with you eventually, but not right now. Let's go over here and we'll swap out this, which is currently making, I think it's abjuration essence. Actually, you know what? Put these in my hand, because I can go swap, swap, and swap. There we go. That should now be making perfect 89%. 90. Cool. So that's working. Let's go over here and we'll just store these in here. You, and you. Kelp can go back in here, and I am happy to say that between last time and this time, the mod has been updated, so this guy will properly take from this chest and deposit to all of these with a single mimic scroll on him. I do still have a couple here that I haven't taken out yet, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but it does happily store things in here. For instance, cobblestone there's no filter on it. We'll go ahead and grab it. So Bailey is finally working properly. And with our first water essence done here, I'm going to go ahead and take out the abjuration, and I'm just going to throw this over here in this unmarked chest, which I'm using for Ars Nouveau stuff. And while that is processing, it's taking a little long. So let's go ahead and grab, I think 2 of these should be fine. I don't actually know. Oh, right, I didn't actually put any more gems in there. Let's grab some gems. 1, 2, 3, 4. 16 should be enough. I don't plan on using that many of them at the moment. Throw you in there, and we're going to just pop these guys near it. So if it's within the 3x3, it'll be able to draw from it, and it takes 20% of a jar in order to create one. So we'll go ahead and place those, and this will finish up pretty quickly. Cool. Now let's go in here. Water essence is fine. So let's go ahead and, I think this is a tier 2 spell. Conjure water, select. And I need yet another bucket of water. Do I have another bucket in here? I do. It is worth noting that when you are using buckets in this recipe for making glyphs, it does actually consume the bucket. You can go back there. Thank you. So, glyph of conjure water. So the reason I wanted a glyph of conjure water here is if I take a touch spell and conjure terrain, there's quite a few things here that you can actually apply. So if it's followed by conjure water, it will place mud. I made a stack of mud earlier, and it takes forever to do that just manually with using the bottle of water. It can be automated, of course, with vanilla, that's fine, but we're not playing vanilla. I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to see if there's a way to make it automatically be the hardened stone. I guess not, because I guess it does need to have wheat. So we'll go ahead, conjure water, and conjure terrain, conjure water, place you, and you make a lovely mud block. Cool. Let's go ahead and break you. But we can do better than that. So let's go to our spell, if I can find out where I put it. Here we go. If we instead add a few AoEs to this, we still only need to have one conjure water. We don't need any AoE on this. It'll still do this. So we'll have conjure terrain, this will do a 3x3, and turn that terrain into water. Or mud, rather. Perfect, 3x3. So this would be pretty easy to throw in a turret like we have over here. We will need 2 turrets this time because we'll need to actually break it. But we can create a similar thing that will automatically produce mud for us because I like the mud brick. If I take it out of here, I think it will go pretty well with the sandstone everywhere. It kind of gives a nice little bit of contrast, so it's not just everything, you know, the same yellow everywhere. We can use this, I'm thinking, for mostly for floors and roads. It's going to be where I use it a lot. We might actually use the regular mud as well, but I think it's kind of weird because it does drop you down a pixel here. So I don't know if I'm going to use that for too many roads, but maybe we'll see if we can find a use for it. And one last glyph I want to unlock here real quick is the glyph of smelt. This is going to be one that'll be very useful throughout this entire series. Not so much casting it myself, but creating some automation with it. So let's go here, tier 2, and I want smelt. So I think I have everything I need now. 1, 2, 3, 4. A blaze rod, and you just grabbed a fire from over there. Perfect. Glyph of smelt. Thank you. This one is pretty straightforward as well. Let's go ahead and clear that so I can kind of demonstrate it. If I have a touch and smelt, what that will do is, if we just aim it at the ground here, it will smelt whatever you touch. So yeah, glass, obviously you don't have silk touch on that, so it didn't give me anything. But if we take this, we can also add AoE or pierce. So those will work kind of what you'd expect if I do it in world here, but they can also work if you have it smelt individual items. So if I throw some cobblestone on the ground and I smelt it, it smelts the sand here, of course, but it did automatically smelt up some stone. I think I had 4 in that stack was how many it smelted. That can be pretty useful. So we're going to create some automation with that using a rune, which I think I don't have unlocked yet, actually. I don't have any regular sand. Why do I not have sand? Clear you. I want to touch conjure terrain and crush. Thank you. And let's go ahead and fill these in. Thank you. We're going to create some automation with a rune where we can just drop items in and it'll automatically smelt. And that can be then powered by our source stars over here, which we're getting a fair amount of. So to get ourselves a simple smelting rune, I'm going to use 2 spells for this. A touch rune of nothing. That's all we need. And then also I'm going to clear you, and I want touch, smelt, and a whole bunch of pierce. Could be pierce, could be AoE. It really makes no difference here. But yeah, this works. They're both tier 2, so it doesn't really matter. We are going to set the one with the actual smelt on it into a scroll here. Touch, smelt, pierce. Perfect. And we need to create a rune over here by our source stars. So I'm going to just build a small little wall here. Just like that. That works. And I'm also going to put one on top, like so. Cool. And in front of this, I'm going to place a stone slab. It can be any type of slab here, but it just needs to be a slab. This prevents us from being able to walk into here. Now, I could directly apply the chalk to the ground here, but if I do that, it's going to actually take the it's going to take durability off of my chalk. Instead, what I've got with this thing is I can place that, and then right-click it. Rune's now permanent, same as if I just applied it directly, only it did not take any durability. So kind of a little cheaty way there. Let's do the same thing on this one. Perfect. We have 2 of those, and we'll just apply our smelt spell to that. Now what we can do, since we have source nearby, we can just walk up. We can't walk into it, so we won't trigger it ourselves. And I can control Q an entire stack in, and we get a stack of stone. We can do this every 4 seconds. We can automate this later, but for now, this is just a really quick way of just smelting things very, very quickly. So our last little bit of prep work here is getting more materials. So I want to make a bit of an outline of kind of some structures that I want throughout the whole city, and for that I want to use a bunch of cobblestone. Now I can of course place that using a conjure terrain and amplify, I think makes cobblestone. It might be smooth stone, I can't remember. But if I do that, then I can't actually use the effortless building mod to be able to make big lines really quickly. I actually have to be, holding stuff for that, which yeah, don't have much of. So what we've got here is a fun spell that abuses an interesting mechanic here. So if I have projectile, I can have projectile modified by pierce. And basically what that does is anything that follows, which in this case is break, it will first apply the spell on the first projectile. It will then pierce to another block, so the next block it hits, it will then apply the spell again. And in this case I have 2 pierces, so it's going to basically apply everything after this 3 times. But as you'll notice, we also have some pierces on the break spell, which means it's going to projectile, hit a wall, break a 3x3 with 2 AoE, only it's going to be a 3x3x3 block of them because of 2 pierces. It'll then move forward 1 block and do the same thing. What that effectively does is it basically just multiplies out these piercings, so you can end up getting a lot more blocks dug without having to do much. Now the only problem is you have to make sure you fire in a straight line. Otherwise, if you aim at an angle here, then it kind of goes kind of weird. Oh look, iron. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to do this for a little bit, fill up my inventory with some cobblestone, and we'll be able to start actually building. And I should point out, you can also modify the break here with some fortune. So in this case, I'll get a little bit of fortune too while I'm at it, because I might actually run into some things like some iron while I'm doing this. So let's go ahead and fill up my inventory. The actual height and design of this bridge is going to be different. It's going to be up higher, I think. Just from looking at it from the side, I do want to have room to have some decoration along the side. But for now, the location is right, I think. So I think how we're going to plan this is that hill is going to be kind of where our city rests. So it's going to have a wall around it here, somewhere over there. I don't know where. But I think the way we're going to do this is we're going to start off just by kind of mapping out where we want things. And I'm going to start with some stone. Yeah, I'll have an actual road through here, and it may curve, it may not. I don't really know. We'll get there when we get there. So for now, we've got from you to here, please. Thank you. There we go. We've got our roads going to come in here, go up the hill here, and we will have, I think our main wall will be, we'll call it here-ish. You can go that way. I do want to be kind of careful where I do this because I don't want to accidentally disturb any of the sand. I mentioned before, I do want to have some sort of like a temple or something on that, just because it's kind of a fun idea. We'll do that eventually. For now, though, that'll work. And let's go, I'm going to have this wall continue fairly straight that way. That works. And I really haven't planned much beyond that. I know I want a big, thick city wall, just because it's kind of fun and I like how it defines the area. Next up on the problem is going to be this little ravine here. So let's set that to disable and take a look. I haven't decided whether or not I want to actually just cover over this ravine, or maybe we'll crash too. That's cool. Yep, we'll crash. We'll be back. Well, like I was saying before the server interrupted me, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this ravine. I might just block it off. If I just kind of shape the land a little bit here to have it be continuous there and then just flatten off the top, that might be what I end up going with, just so that the entrance to the city goes to like something flat. If the ravine went further that way, then maybe I could do it as like a drawbridge type thing inside the gate. But to be honest, that's not shift. Yep, I thought I was holding shift. I was holding control. Whee! Okay, well, let's get our stuff back here. There is some water here. You won't get me all the way down, but you'll get me close enough. Yeah, we can do it this way. Okay, so I haven't decided. I think I might level it out. If it was to have gone further that direction, though, then we could have a bridge, and that would make it look nicer as a bridge. I don't think I'm going to survive that. Let's see, anywhere else I can jump? Not particularly. I can at least get a couple more blocks out of this. Perfect. Flawless. Okay, let's pick you up. Okay, let's hop back up. And hop back up. There we go. It always lags a little bit when someone joins. If this continued that way, then it would make sense to be a bridge, but I think because it doesn't, I think it's going to be better if we just flatten the whole area off. So let's go ahead and we'll do it this way. Turn you into that and aim right there. That is far too low. Nope. Let's move you to, I think this level should be good. And there we go. Nice flat area. And we can just cover the top of this with sand and no one will know the difference. I will say, normally I don't like filling in things this way where it's kind of just a, an imaginary platform. But I think because this is such a big area that it's not going to be worth it trying to fill in this whole thing because that goes down to some rather large caves. So, yep, sorry, not doing it this time. Let's patch this, and I think if we flatten you, I think this will work. Let's just patch that. Perfect. Okay, and now what we can do is we can go back to our spell here, re-add our crush, and simply cover up. Perfect. Have I mentioned we have backpacks mod? They're pretty aggressive. He had like 4 different potion effects on him. That was kind of weird. He just came out of the blue. As you can see, I'm going along and lighting up the entire area, mostly to avoid things like that. I will eventually, I think we don't have it yet, the Torchmaster mod in order to get the mega torches. I do eventually want to have proper lighting throughout this place, like city lights and light posts and all that fun stuff, and actually light it up nicely, aesthetically. For now, though, it's just kind of, I don't want things to be spawning when I'm walking around, so we're just covering the entire area. You can see on the map there, we're making good progress on that, but it is a little tedious. I think I should probably get a mod that'll show me actual light levels, but for now this will work. So I'm going along trying to build up a little bit of a wall along the sea here, just to have something more substantial than the beach, I guess. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, just kind of playing around, and I'm kind of at the point where it's annoying swimming. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to our storage area, and we are going to type in JEI here, flight, because I'm tired of this. So a tablet of flight needs a vexing archwood, 3 wilden wings, 2 diamonds, and an ender pearl, or 2 diamonds and a feather, and only 1 with a flashing. You know what, that's quite a bit cheaper, because I don't have an ender pearl, but I do have feathers, diamonds, and wings. So let's go ahead and grab those. 2 of you, and a feather was up here. Should have a few of those. Wings are right down here, and flashing logs should be right here. 1 of you, thank you. I think that's everything I need. Perfect, tablet of flight. Let's turn you off. Next up I need a ritual pedestal. So, ritual, you are a regular pedestal and some more gold and source gems. Let me go grab those. Okay, pedestal plus all the extra ingredients gets us a ritual brazier. Everything else you can go back into here. I'm going to keep the source gem blocks though. I need the tablet, and let's go just grab some of these. We're unfortunately out of source, it looks like. Let's turn you off. Oh wow, that actually filled up really quickly. I set this up maybe 10 minutes ago to run for a little bit. Yeah, it's been working. It's been working. Let's turn you all into regular sandstone. Continuous, please. Why are you not working? There we go. Throw you. Too much. Okay, let me clean this up. Well, the good news is it certainly works well. Let's go ahead and grab a couple source stars here. I want to leave at least 1. Alright, still 1 more. Okay, there we go. This will just continue to go. This is a ritual of harvest. It's exactly what it says on the tin. It will just kind of harvest things around it every few seconds. It will basically just harvest everything in one go. Works pretty nicely. It is net positive, so this is still going to be generating source. For now, I'm just going to leave that running. I'll probably stick a lever on it later, and it's definitely not going to be staying here. But the main thing is I want to actually be able to build. So for that, let's go over here more. How are you here? Oh, I didn't light this up. Right, that's why. Perfect, thank you. Light, you can go here-ish, that works. Once it gets darker, I'll be able to see that a little bit better. I've filled in this area because this was down lower, built the wall up and flattened it off so I have something to actually build on here, but I forgot to light it up after, building up all the sand. So either way, whatever. Ritual, you can go down, tablet of flight can go here, that is from my offhand, thank you. And you need some power. It's only kind of a temporary location. I'll eventually sort out proper areas for everything, but for right now, let's right-click you, give ourselves a jump, and we can now fly. We don't have a base yet, but we can fly. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the rest of this wall. One of the things I want to do with this wall is to give a bit more definition to the edge of the area here. When it's coming down to like a coast, it's kind of hard to build with that. So by having a flat area here, what I can actually do is I can turn a lot of this into sort of a dock area to have some ships come up, because I like the idea of that. And then there's also these issues of things like this, where this whole thing is just kind of floating here. It's kind of an interesting thing from the terrain, but it's also kind of just obnoxious to work around. I can't really think of how I had built to incorporate this. There was an area here, but I did already blow that up. So there's that. Alright, I'm pretty happy with this so far. It's not going to be, like, the prettiest thing. It's not meant to be the main kind of showpiece here, but it does give some structure to the edge of our kingdom here. And we've got a kind of straight edge here. I'm not sure if I want this area to be a port, or if I want maybe docks along here or something. I haven't really decided that. I haven't really figured out what I want to do yet, but I like having some sort of structure. Next up is this little peninsula here. I've been wanting to build a lighthouse. I feel like in these lighthouse, we've got this ocean here. Oh, where are we? Cool. We've got the big ocean. I feel like we need a lighthouse. And I'm not sure if I want to put it on this little peninsula. Maybe on this corner where it comes to a right angle here. Let's move a little bit closer to our flight ritual. Or perhaps even over here. I'm not really sure where I want this. I know I want a lighthouse. I need a large library, like a Library of Alexandria type thing, which will be my main storehouse. Other than that, I don't have any real concrete plans yet. At all. Yeah, I don't really know. But like I said, I just want to build. I don't know what I want to build. Maybe I just want to build just the front entranceway here, so I have some sort of definition of where does the actual building begin. Or not building, there's not a single building. I don't know. So many decisions. So I've gone along and made a little bit of an outline of a wall. I'm not, it's not set in stone yet, it's set in dirt. And we still have a lot we're going to need to do with this. But I think we've got kind of an outline to figure out what do we want the front of our city to look like. And it's going to be a full city, so it's going to be lots of buildings, individual buildings, not one mega structure, but instead lots of smaller things. And I'm also kind of patching up some dark spots as I see them. Yep, there we go. Flight ritual. Gotta watch for it. Where was that? Right over here. So basically, we have ourselves the front wall. You can see it kind of curves, kind of concave, which is kind of interesting for a city, I guess, but let's go over to our flight so we can look at this a little bit better. Where is it? There we go. A little bit light right there too. So here's what we got. We've got a tower here on the corner, which will be just kind of fitting here. I dug out an area around where the floating sand is. My plan is to turn that into a kind of like a temple tomb area almost. So the front of it will kind of come out to here. It'll look like it's set into the sandstone. So I'll have like some sculptures or something out front. I might actually have the front entrance to it be to the side here maybe. I'm not entirely sure. We'll figure it out, but obviously we can't move those, so let's build where it is. The main entrance is going to be two towers here that you'd walk through a gate in the middle. The actual wall itself is going to be, I think it's about 4 blocks thick. So it'll slope upwards a little bit. Goes out this way. I'll have some building over here, I'm not sure what. And this whole area here is then just open for building. So over here on the edge of the water where we were working earlier, let's take a look. This is kind of the hardest part right now, is figuring out what I want the wall to look like, because I do want a wall and I want the seawall to be two separate things. Have a little bit of a walkway on the outside here, probably a small gate there, I'm not entirely sure, and then a gate right about here where I'm looking, which will then go down to a dock area. So I think I will have the docks be in this straight area. We're going to run out of flight again. Let's head back over here before we do. There we go. This area here, it's going to be docks coming out this way. I think just a straight dock covering most of this. In fact, probably about starting from here maybe. Kind of like that. Once that decides to form. There we go. So we'll have the docks be, I think, this whole area. Then I can have some storage along this wall a bit, and then we can have some more little areas coming out, kind of like that, for ships to actually come up and dock at our port. Stairs will be coming down next to this gatehouse, wherever this tower ends up being. Probably another tower here and a straight vault over there. It's a work in progress. So that's kind of the general plan for the actual structure of the external wall. I haven't decided anything on the south edge there, or filled in any of that stuff. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with that yet. I just wanted to kind of map out where the main walls are so that I can have an idea of, how much room do I have for actual buildings. Like, is this going to be 2 buildings here, one here, one here? Is it going to be a big plaza there and then just 1 building? I don't know. So things I need to decide, but I need to have an actual idea of where the wall is going to be so I can then build around it. And now that we have the general idea mapped out, I'm going to go along with effortless building here and just replace all of the dirt, well, not all of it, but a lot of the dirt, with some actual sandstone of the actual block I'll be building with. So the whole thing isn't going to be yellow, but the thing is actually that I needed the dirt. Not as like running out of materials needing it, but more of I wanted to start putting in a path along the side of the wall here, and I wanted to use actual path blocks for that. So if I'm going to have everything be dirt here, it kind of gets a little confusing if I'm using the same block everywhere. Place you there. There we go. So, like I said, I'm going to fill this area in with the actual base of the proper wall here, and from then I will be able to actually start building our first actual building, which will be right about here. So you know how sometimes you get a little carried away and you just kind of start something and then you finish it? Well, we haven't finished it yet, but we have done quite a bit on the exterior wall here, as well as picked out kind of what we need for our next actual build. The wall is going to be an ongoing project. It's going to be kind of going around the whole city, and I'm not satisfied with it yet. I do want it to be taller. Also, these mage lights everywhere, these are all temporary. I want some actual lighting, but we'll deal with that later. For now, I just need to not have mobs be trying to kill me. Let's actually put more light right there. Next up, we have, well, not really even a start of a building, but we have a plan. We also have an Alay up here who's helping us out a little bit. He is getting us some sand whenever we break it. I've found that if I'm going along with, say, for instance, mud bricks here, and if I, not F1, I want Alt, that's what I need. If I have this in replace mode, it's really handy, but the problem is it doesn't immediately pick up the blocks. Like, even if I'm like standing right here, it sometimes doesn't go into my inventory, and especially if I'm moving along doing, say, a big circle here for a nice little plaza. So Mr. Lay here is actually really helpful for this, for just picking up what I missed, what I dropped. Unfortunately, I can't get this by hand, so I do need to actually break it. And let's fill you, replace off, please. There we go. Alright, that's a little bit better. We now have a little bit of an outline of a building here, and a little bit off to the side as well. So what my plan is here is this is going to be an essence factory. If I go here and type in essence, there are, let me finish typing that. There we go. There are 7 different essences that we will want to automate. There's an extra one as well, Anima from Ars Elemental, but it's only used in a few things. Also has some stuff that I don't have yet. This is only used for a single focus, which is sort of a one-time craft, and then 2 glyphs, lifelink, and charm, which we will want, but I'm not going to need these automated. That's not something I'm going to need a whole lot of. At least if I double check these, yeah, those aren't used for anything themselves. So I'm just going to automate the original 7, and so we have spots lined out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had an 8th one here, but obviously we don't need an 8th one. So instead, I'm going to have this be open and have a pathway to a second building right here. Yeah, that's the plan at least. I don't really have an actual plan for the building itself. I'm kind of just playing it by ear here. I do want to replace this with sand because I don't want to have my building foundation be sand here. I like the idea of having this little pathway, walkway here. This will kind of go down to over at the dock area. There'll be a second building here. They'll be connected by that little walkway though. Let's go ahead and make a line. You 2 here. Do I have enough? Perfect. Wrong one. Control Z, by the way, undoes things that you build with effortless building. It can be pretty useful. Let's go ahead and replace that with that one. There we go. Let's pick up our blocks. And like I said, I don't have a whole lot of actual like plan. I don't have this in a creative build like already built out. I'm just kind of doing it by kind of whatever looks right. And generally, I don't actually know what I want to look like yet. Here's a question. Do I want to have a solid block here, like that, and then sort of a window frame type thing here? Do I want that to be solid like this? So it's sort of pillars, or do I want it to be like this where I have the regular sandstone on the bottom? I don't know. Let's go ahead and make that as well. This doesn't need to be a very tall building. It's not going to have much in it besides the essence automation in here. And of course, Starbunkles will be running everything. I think I like this style instead, at least for this. Until I'll probably have some others where I'll have more of the frame go down, but since this isn't exactly like a column block, it doesn't really seem right if it goes down all the way. But this is a nice continuous texture along the bottom, so I like that. We'll go with that. Do I have anything on top? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I've still got a lot more building I'd like to do with this. I think the automation we're going to save for the next episode, just because that's going to be a little bit more in depth. And I actually want to have time to go over it properly. The other thing I want to touch on before we leave for today, though, is I have a second building here now, which has an artificial geode in it. Artificial because I just built it myself. I wanted it to be kind of run down. One thing is that it's going to look a lot different once this is operational. And that is because I want to get myself an Amethyst Golem going so that I can have this more renewably, as well as I'll need that, of course, for the essence. So this is going to be kind of just a work site, and I don't know if I have a chest on me. Do I? No, but I can make one. This is going to be just a real simple, just a regular chest here. Thank you. And you can go right about here. This is going to be taking up 2 spots for the amethyst buds to grow. It's going to be a little bit of an issue. This is not going to be a very efficient packing for this as well, because basically each of these sides can have a crystal grow on them, and this one is sharing with that one, this one's sharing with that one right here. Basically everything's going to be sharing sides, and I've got sides that are not even exposed, so they won't be able to grow anything on them. But I wanted to look kind of like there's a geode that we just found here. We moved in to the city was founded, we found a amethyst geode here up on the surface, and we started using it for mining. So it's going to be kind of a little bit of the lore of the actual city here, but in order to actually do anything with this, we actually do need to, get a golem going. Is there light in there? There's no. Let's go find a golem. Okay, so once again, we're going to need yet another pedestal here. Let's make one of you, please, and turn you into a ritual brazier. Pretty simple. And we also then need a tablet of awakening, which is used for making golems. So we need just one of each of the saplings here, flourishing archwood, and some source gems. Go ahead and make you. Perfect. Let's go on down to our amethyst geode. Down here in our mines, I actually found another geode here as I was just kind of clearing area. Basically, I just needed stone, so I was digging randomly. We found another geode right here. I'm actually going to leave that one for now. I'll come back to that later when I have more inventory space. But let's go over to our original one, which should have a whole bunch of clusters already grown. Perfect. And I'm just going to plop this down. Let's go down lower here. Let's see if we can get this one to work. It doesn't matter if there's the clusters growing on it or not. We're just going to be stealing the bud, really. You can go right here, Ritual Brazier, Tablet of Awakening, and right-click it. Now, it should pick just a single one, and it should just go with the closest, but we'll find out, I guess. Perfect. Hello there, Mr. Amethyst Golem. You can come with me. There's 2 ways we can do this. Actually, there's several ways. I can probably just pick you up. That's one way. The other way is by casting Dispel, and the other is by, shall we say, forcibly dispelling you. That will give us an Amethyst Golem charm, which we can then place upstairs and actually have as our golem. Alright, so back up to our Amethyst farm. What we can do is just place this guy down pretty much anywhere, laugh at him as he suffocates on a wall, and then we can right-click you, store you, and shift right-click onto a chest to set it as the home. You'll start dancing, that's how you know that it's working, and he already got to work. Cool. Basically what it does is it produces budding amethyst from regular amethyst. So normally this is not something that vanilla allows you to move. I can't even carry on to pick it up. They're not supposed to be able to be moved. but this is modded, so wah. Anyway, this guy here, I don't have a heal method. Sorry, you're gonna be sitting at 1 health for a while. Actually, no, we can fix that. There, I healed you. You're welcome. Let's place you right here and rebind you to your home. Oh, right click, shift right click. There we go. That's your new home again. It can do several different things. So one, like I said, it'll turn the regular amethyst blocks into budding amethyst, kind of slowly. The other things it will do is it will speed up the actual growth of the budding amethyst. Did that create one? Of course, it created one in the most useless spot. There. Now you're slightly more useful. Perfect. And then the other thing it can do is it will automatically harvest. So once this does start to actually grow the budding amethyst, or the amethyst clusters, once they're fully grown, then it will go ahead and pick them up and place them in the chest. So this will be kind of a slow process, mine especially because this is not optimized at all. Basically what you could do is if you were to put one here, you don't want to put any that are going to be sharing sides. You could put another amethyst block here so that this side can grow, this side here can grow here, and basically it's not interacting with any of them. That way each time the budding amethyst gets a growth tick, it'll actually, grow. So, yep, we're not doing that optimized at all. We're doing it just for looks. But I kind of like how this looks. The intent is that, amethyst was a meteor or something crashed into the ground here, or maybe it grew from underneath. I don't know. Either way, the geode's sitting up on the surface here. So this is going to be the first part of our Essence automation, and I think we're going to save the rest of that for the next episode. But we got a lot done. We've got quite a bit built, and we've got a lot more to continue building. Let's go ahead and fly up high here. It's going to be a big process, lots of buildings. My intent is that the entire city here is going to be cramped and crowded. I want it to be a very busy city, lots of buildings close together, lots of walkways like this where it's kind of tight spaces, tight between buildings, walkways everywhere, getting onto roofs everywhere. I want it to be kind of a fun place to get around, and ideally not a place that you actually have to jump. There's flight rituals here now for when I'm building, but I want the whole place to be walkable. So everything's going to use steps and slabs and that sort of thing, so you can get around easily without having to jump. Because, let's be honest, last time you were in a city, how often do you jump? So I hope you've enjoyed watching, I hope you've enjoyed what we've gotten done, and I look forward to continuing this project. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.